Hey, Cowboy here. I see you're checking out some of our first season. Excellent choice. Great vintage stuff. Pairs well with steak. Just a few notes. In season 1, the name of the show was actually Head to Head, a video game podcast. But it's still the same show that you've come to love or will learn to love if this is your first time listening. So in either case, thanks for listening, and welcome to Game Corp.
Head to Head, a video game podcast, is about 3 rad video game journalists set in the fictional offices of the evil conglomerate Game Corp. The show contains scenes of narrative elements, some mature content, and a whole lot of immature content. Enjoy the show.
So, I can't actually visit Vape Nation, but I had so many freaking flyer miles saved up.
Nope, not real. You could go to China, though. Its air pollution basically makes it Vape Nation, as long as your favorite flavor is asphyxiation.
Oh. Well, I don't know. Isn't there a bit of a crowd this time of year?
It's China? There's a crowd every time of year for all the years. I'd go to Thailand, actually. It's like China's Canada.
The amount of culture between you two is astounding. Also, why would you want to visit the place that had the Batman?
Wait, Batman is from China?
Oh, no wonder those Dark Knight bootlegs were in Cantonese.
Jesus, can you guys just hurry up? The boss said if we're late to the office, he'll put his—
Look out, bro!
All right, it's a big yikes chat. Some boomer just yeeted little skirt's hoverboard down the hall. Go ahead and smash that unlike button.
Hoverboard? That thing it wasn't hovering, it's got wheels. When did they change what hovering means?
Hey, that was your guys' fault. You kids shouldn't be riding those things around in the hall anyway.
Oh, Snapchat! We got a beef alert!
Chill, bruh. No dealie. We just filming some fire stunts for the Insta. We're doing the hoverboard twerk while high AF on muscle relaxers challenge.
Okay, well, this is a corporate building, so you boys are gonna have to film your fire stunts elsewhere.
Nah, B. That's the thing. We twerk for Game Corp.
You what now?
You know, we twerk here too. We're putting in twerking hard for the money.
Huh?
All in the day's twerk, yo! Twerking hard or hardly twerking?
I don't even... Are you guys saying that you work here?
Yeah, man, it's your boys, Lil Skirt.
Lil Yeet.
And our little Pete. Yo, Game Corp's been letting us run their YouTube channel. It's pretty litty titty, you know what I mean? The latest video we put out, Gamer Girl pranks nerds on Among Us that go sexually racist, 7 exclamation points. That shit's just past 1 million views, no cap.
Yeah. Check out the links in the description and smash that subscribe button.
Where did they get links? Wait, is that a literal subscribe button he's holding? How does that even work?
Yo, wait. I recognize your voices. Ain't y'all them geezers that put old-timey radio stations and stuff in whatever I'm saying right now that don't make sense right now? Man, who listens to radios anymore? 1952 is FaceTiming me right now, and they said they want the preferred broadcast media method back. I think they do it for the senior citizens and the blind or something, yo. Hey, y'all got glaucoma medication I could buy off you? I mean, I'm kind of feeling it right now.
No, we're not old or blind.
Well, I mean, legally I am without my glasses, so, technically.
Oh shit, my B. I just thought you were in your 30s. But low-key, y'all must be doing some fire drugs to be aging all like that. Mad respect.
Bruh, that's rude. You be pointing out how bashemi these dudes are. Don't you know that people gotta do radio when they ugly? Shake my head. Shake my head.
You didn't even shake your head. You just said it out. What is going on out here?
No, guys, listen, it's not radio. We run a corporate podcast. It's like more mature YouTube, for busy adults and intellectuals, right?
Yeah, it's a prestigious, long-form content that doesn't rely on gimmicks or looks. It just might be a little highbrow for you guys, I'm thinking.
Yeah, our latest episode, Mobile Game War Waifu Hotties, we talked about jiggly booties and had like 20 engaged listeners.
What? No, we have way more than 20.
Bruh, I'm weak. Man just tried to flex with 20 listeners. We got more dislikes than you got audience.
Yeah, at least Joe Rogan be doing DMT and talk about how we all just singular interconnected consciousness experiencing existence through the individual born from stardust, yo. Yeah, drugs and metaphysical revelations are straight fire, bruh. But y'all shit is whack.
What? Well, it's better than that bullshit gutter level stuff you guys make. Yeah, I've seen it. All you guys do is put out clickbait full of Twitch drama and cyberbullying and shit. You guys are fake-ass gamers. You barely even play the games.
Yeah, we put in the twerk to deliver real content. We've been knuckle deep in these new fighting games all week. We could kick your ass any day of the week.
Dude, stop saying knuckle deep. It comes out so weird. It's just...
Woo. The old throw-in shade. They clap him back like they're better than us. Yo, it sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, and we've been wanting to do that, accept a challenge, for our next video. Yo, what's up? Y'all trying to square up then?
Square up, circle down, left, right, BA, select, start. It doesn't matter. We'll beat you no matter which buttons we press.
Whoa, wait. So y'all really trying to catch hands?
Question is, are y'all trying to catch these hands? You know, the ones that got me through the Tetris tournament of 98?
Guys, I don't think that's what they mean.
Yeah, let's do it. Game Corp podcasters versus YouTubers. We'll even record it in the middle of our podcast.
I bet.
Oh, yeah, we'll bet. We'll bet, all right. We're going to wager our recording equipment against your hoverboards.
Whoa, what are you guys doing? Our equipment is way more expensive than that.
Don't worry. We've been playing all week. We've gotten so good at these games, there's no way we can lose.
Again, I don't think they're talking about games, guys.
Aye, it's on. It's a Melio podcast. We're going to do a bare-knuckle fist fight to the finish. Yeah, and our whole crew's been doing MMA all year because that's the meta right now. So we're going to put you on YouTube and on World Star.
And then we're gonna go through your pockets and steal your medication. Because we love prescription pills. Lil yeet.
Let's bounce, yo. I got some Pokemon cards to open.
Wait, bare knuckle?
Wait, a fist fight?
Wait, World Star? Does that mean we're gonna be famous?
No. Welcome to the 7th episode of Head to Head, a video game podcast, brought to you by Game Corp, the totally not evil video game media conglomerate. Upper management, in their infinite wisdom, has hand-chosen us, a couple of low-level employees with zero experience, to serve as your host for this head-to-head, no-holds-barred matchup between two games to see which will stand triumphant. I am Cowboy.
I'm Jake.
And I'm JB, aka Jabba the Butt.
Today's battle will be facing off two contenders for the title of Best New Entry for an Old School Brawler, with Battletoads versus River City Girls.
That's right. And before we start, I do have an announcement to make. Very exciting. Our podcast, Head to Head, a video game podcast, is going to be on another podcast named the Whack Brackets Podcast. How many times can you say podcast in one sentence?
A podcast and a podcast?
Probably a lot. Podcast. It's podcastception, baby.
How do you even do that? It's like a Russian doll situation?
It's a skill. I've been honing it for years. I've been trying to fit podcast in as many sentences as I can. But anyway, yeah, February 12th, we're recording with Whack Brackets. We're going to, talk about some... I don't know what we're going to talk about. He hasn't really let us know, so we're going to be going in blind.
Probably video games.
It might be, and that's when we're recording. We have no idea when it's going to come out, but it's... So the premise of that podcast is basically they're going to throw some nonsense questions at us, and we're going to try to argue one side versus the other. And since we like to talk a whole lot, I'm sure it's going to be great.
It's basically going to be our listener questions, just with the person hosting the podcast being the listener. That's
and the questioner.
Yeah, we're going to see how long it can take before he gets sick of us.
And they'll be the hosts, which means they'll use our body to get to the top. Or, never mind.
If you were me, then I'd be you.
Oh my God,
I'd use
did
your
you just
body
go
to get
Ace
to the
Ventura?
top.
I thought everybody was going Ace Ventura. I'm excited, dude. We're gonna whack it on that bracket.
We're gonna whack that bracket, baby.
Whack that bracket.
We're not going to whack it. That's not a thing we're going to do.
One of you called it wacky
no, we're
brackets,
gonna whack the
didn't
bracket.
you? You guys were mentioning, you kept calling it wacky brackets. And I'm like, that's not what it's...
My phone auto-corrected whack to wacky, and I was like, that's funny. I'll leave it.
Yeah.
My phone
wacky brackets.
My phone auto-corrected whack to whack it.
Whack it? Bracket.
Yeah, with mustard. I don't know why it's got that.
Whack it with mustard.
What?
Damn you, phone. Stop. I said that 3 times and you decide that it's in my dictionary now. Jesus.
But yeah, it's going to be super cool. Hey, and it's our first appearance outside of our own podcast. Well, no, we're on Billy's stream, but it's our first appearance in a podcast outside of this podcast. So you know that our rise to stardom is inevitable. And with that,
we're the opposite of a meteor. We're going up. We're leaving the stratosphere.
We're leaving
the
stratosphere in a meteor, in a time machine.
Don't know when we'll
going
be back
to the dinosaurs, being a Goomba. Anyway, so
Elton
last
John.
time that magnesium switch over there, I mean, that worked, right?
Yeah.
You want to give it another go?
No.
You can't. No doesn't work. You can't do no.
All right. I'm going to just flip it. Here we go.
Hey, did it work? No, it didn't. Wait, what's this? I've had an envelope in my hand the entire time. Let me hold it to my forehead. It's listener questions. Let's open it up and start the segment now. This first question, we got real listener questions. Woo! I'm just going to celebrate. We've had real ones in previous episodes too, but we'd love it when you send them in because it gives me a little break. So, okay.
I don't know what you're implying that we do when we don't get listener questions, because we always get them. All questions have been from real live listeners. That is the head-to-head.
From the office and stuff. I'm not.
Oh.
No, I'm not saying that I actually make up any of these questions. That's absurd. Why would we do that? No, I'm saying some of the questions come from in the office.
Right.
And I have to go around and collect them. People won't email them. I have to go to every department and ask for questions. And it takes up like half a day. So,
right. I've seen you doing that. You walk up and you're like, hey, can you just ask me a question real quick? And they're like, what? And you're like, technically that's correct, but I need a more substantial question. They're like, what are you talking about? Yes, that was more words,
but
I need more substance. Make it about video games. Who are you?
That spawned that best question. Who are you? We spent like 40 minutes on that question when you asked us. And like, I got into trauma and I got into like past stuff I didn't remember.
Yeah.
What a good listener question. We
had to cut the whole thing too. It got way too personal. But hey, these are from outside of the office, so thank you. This first one is it's from Irish Wristwatch. So Irish Wristwatch.
Who's it from?
Asks Irish Wristwatch.
Irish Wristwatch.
Who? Yeah, I don't know that.
Irish Wristwatch.
Irish Wristwatch.
Oh, he's that unique
it's really hard
dude
to
from
say.
New York. And he's that
Irish Wristwatch. Irish Wristwatch.
Unique New York.
He's from Unique New York.
It's from Unique New York.
Unique New York.
Unique
Irish
New York.
Irish Wristwatch. What items would you guys drop upon death?
Oh, Jesus.
I think that's a really good question. So, if you were in a video game and the protagonist came by and beat the shit out of you.
We're the bad guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah, the good guys don't drop anything on death unless it's some penalty. That's boring. You're the bad guy. Fucking who? Kunio comes up, punches you, loots your pockets. What kind of stuff are you dropping when you die?
See, it's funny. I took the question realistically, and the first thing I thought was my coffee cup, which means that I expect to be killed while enjoying my breakfast.
I guess I dropped my car keys because I was really surprised when you came around the car and jumped me in the parking garage, and I didn't have my phone to call the police.
Like, my brain just instantly went, oh yeah, when I'm shot from a distance, my coffee cup tumbles to the ground and breaks. You know?
No, man, if you were a video game bad guy and you died, what would fly out of your dead,
oh my gosh,
despawning corpse?
I would drop a chess piece. And this chess piece would be a piece of a puzzle that would happen later on. But I'm an optional enemy to fight. Like, I'm off in some weird corner, so I'm like the start of a puzzle. So you get this chess piece, and you can sell it for like a ton of money. Like 1,000 gems. And you get these 1,000 gems, you could buy like a full suit of armor with that shit. But if you hold on to it, there's another secret alcove that you go into. There's a chessboard, and this piece will make checkmate if you put it in the exact right spot, and it's the only spot you can put it on. And if you solve that puzzle, you get some like crazy reward. That would be what I drop.
Whoa.
That's a pretty amazing answer. You've been
If I died, I think they would loot like sweatpants off me that gave like +1 comfort and -1 charisma, and like chapstick that keeps them moist in arid environments.
That's good. That could come in handy.
See, this goes to
Well, the thing is,
Go ahead.
the thing is with. Thank you, Cowboy.
Mhm.
The thing is with the sweatpants.
Ain't no fighting on this episode.
the thing
We're,
is-
we're cordial.
The thing is with these sweatpants, though, is that they also have a hidden anxiety mechanic. So the longer you wear them in public, the higher the anxiety meter rises, and pretty soon you think everybody's looking at you. And pretty soon you're fighting a whole mall of NPCs turned antagonists, and you're wondering where you got here in life. Guys, I don't want to fight.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, I don't. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight high schoolers. I've never been in a fight.
Dude, okay, we promised that we would just, we would buckle down and focus for this podcast, and we wouldn't worry about what might happen later. We don't even know. But you're talking about the YouTubers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I mean, so we get beat up. It's not the end of the world. You know how many times I've been beat up? I don't. I can't remember because I've been beat up so much. It's affected me. But man, getting beat up by high schoolers, you get beat up. You go to class, you get beat up in class. You go to lunch, you get beat up at lunch too. But then you go back to class and you go on with your day. It doesn't, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't affect you later in life, probably. It's just something you get through. Right?
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's going to be
Thanks.
fine. What is the worst thing that could happen? Okay, we lose.
Yeah.
We're fired.
So what?
And we get fired, and
Wouldn't they get fired because they started a fight? We lost. We have the lumped up face.
Not
We
at the-
show up
not at-
and we're sad.
knowing this place, the people that, yeah, I don't know how that's going to turn out. Let's just not think about it, right? Is that the best?
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what?
I always
Thanks.
internalize everything. Like, that's what you
Yeah.
do.
Thanks, Cowboy. That does make me feel better.
I'm glad.
That does make me want to
Good.
fight some high schoolers. Thanks, man. So,
We could probably.
yeah, there you have it. That's the shit we would drop, unless you got something else, Cowboy, or would it just really be a coffee cup because you were sniped from the top of a building?
Speaking of my demise at somebody else's hand, if I were to die at the hands of a protagonist, well, see, I think of this in two different ways. Because there's the what I would drop just based on who I am, and then if I could choose what to drop. Now, if I could choose what I drop when the hero kills me, which that makes me the villain, which might be accurate,
Mm-hmm.
I would choose my butthole as the dropped loot. And
Cowboy's
So, like, your
butthole.
butthole would just kind of fly off your body?
that's up to the programmers of this simulation that we live in, because the actual real world is a simulation. Wake up, people. But I would drop my butthole through whatever means, and I would make it a quest item. For a quest they can't complete that's glitched, so they can never de-equip it. They can't drop it. Every time they try to take it out their pocket and be like, this is so gross, I don't want this, it goes, sorry, this is a quest item. And forever, they will have to carry my butthole around with them.
Whoa.
Yep. I might be a villain because that's the greatest plan ever. The butthole and like at least 5 inches of surrounding area. Not just like this little button they carry in their pocket, but is this bad for the Is this too bad? Should I revise my answer? Diamonds.
No, that's-
Gold. Don't drop gold.
That's great. Irish Rishwash.
Cowboy's butthole.
I
That's
hope you're
the
happy.
answer.
I hope you're happy asking that one. Up next in the list of questions, we have another one from, hey, check this out. It's from actually Frank.
Ooh, Cowboy.
Yeah, right.
Like a Frank, or your name is Frank?
He's
Frank.
a Frank, and he is
He's
the
Frank.
Frank. He's Frank.
A Frank inside of a Frank, like a Russian
He's
doll
actually Frank.
situation?
He's a Frank and Frank.
He's a Frank.
He's a Frank named Frank.
I'm a Frank, y'all.
Well, Frank and Frank asks, which video game has the best world and or lore? Ooh, I got a lot to say about a lot of things, so I'm going to let you guys go first.
I got a little say about this thing, so JB, you go first.
Pokemon. I mean, Pokemon, right? I had no idea. I just panic chose a game. But I think Pokemon has some great world. Like, you have all these different islands. You have all these different places. They all have different Pokemon. They have shiny Pokemon. They have different regions. And you have to... The entire place of this world, like, it's so crazy how the entire world has come together to a singular goal. And that goal is dogfighting. Like, what a wonderful world they live in. They just capture animals out of their natural habitat, make them fight, and the animals love them for it somehow. And the entire point is to beat the 8 people who are the best at dogfighting.
It's so mind-boggling how this even got, like, how this is a children's show.
It's because it makes sense. I mean, that's how we should make our world happen. Like, could you imagine, like, I just go out and I find a giraffe? And I bring it home and I make it fight a lion?
It's terrible.
How is that terrible?
Ahead. Justify it. Justify it.
I'm saying it's great, by the way. I don't agree with the Cowboy. But yeah, sure, justify it.
No, Jake, that you go what's your take on it?
So, I mean, all right. So, in the world of Pokemon, it's a coming of age story where people find magical creatures to love and grow with. It's a tale of friendship. It's a tale of growing up and facing consequences and doing the right thing in the face of great evils. It is, I mean, there's tons of morals in Pokemon, right? But I would agree, like, it ain't just taking a giraffe home, though, and making it fight a bulldog, right? It's taking a magic giraffe home to fight a fire bulldog who can literally set the air around it on fire and then split the earth. And then there's 10-year-olds running around with literal gods in their little Pokeballs. Yeah. So, you know, maybe it would be a little weird. It's
worse.
It's the only way you could live in that world, right? Like, if there were literal gods flying around just being able to destroy the world, you would have to put it in a little ball and make it love you somehow.
It's even worse that these Pokemon can do harm. I mean, it's not just teeth and claws. It's fire and shocking and stabbing and ripping out your soul as a ghost. It's worse than normal dogfighting. How?
No, normal animals can do all that stuff.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Normal animals don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah, they do. Have you ever been to Australia? Me either. But they want to do it, right?
No.
And also,
normal animals don't want to do that. Like, if you fucking put an alligator in a pen with a lion, both of them are going to be like, what the fuck, man? I just wanted lunch. I don't want to do this. Like, in the world of Pokemon, they get stronger and they grow when it happens. It's all positive.
Well, that's
why it happens in the first place.
That's because of the Pokeballs. Like, you know what happens when they go in the Pokeballs? They're in there like a scene. Yes, drugs are involved. It's like a scene out of Clockwork Orange. Their eyes are propped open and they watch these tiny little Poke screens of animals battling the whole time they're in there, and it piques their aggression. That's why those creatures are just normal, like wood, you know, and grassland animals until you put them in the Pokeball. Then suddenly they'll obey your every command and fight. That's because they're brainwashed inside the Pokeballs. That's the genius of Pokemon. Like, that's classic lore. Nobody else knows that.
And the lore gets crazy as time goes on. Like, it gets even weirder. Like, I'm pretty sure... okay, somebody's going to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just going to say it as if I'm right anyway. So, in the later seasons of the Pokemon games, I don't know why I called them seasons, but I'm pretty sure the lore is there's the good god and the bad god, and they're fighting to, like, for the universe. And if you don't beat the game, the universe, like, implodes or some craziness.
There's some weird implications with Pokemon. Also, isn't the bad god the devil, or is there also a devil and a bad god?
It's just like a dark version of the light god. I'm pretty sure. It is Pokemon after all. They're not very creative.
Jake, is that all correct?
No.
Shoot your shot, JB.
I'm sitting here literally squirming in my seat. No, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna let you guys wonder what the world of Pokemon really is.
Can I also say one more implication from Pokemon, because Pokemon has wild implications.
The implications.
The implications that 10-year-olds, as a form of, like, prepubescent journey into manhood, I guess, or like a ritual, is go out and make it dogs fight or animals fight. Doesn't matter. It's dog fighting. On top of that, humans never seem to die. How many times has Ash been shocked, and shocked by Pikachu or like hurt by a fire Pokemon? How many times has Team Rocket gone thousands of feet in the air to disappear, gone orbital, and they come back? The implications are humans can't die, which is why the Pokemon don't rise up against them. They're afraid of the eternal demigods, the eldritch beings that enslave them into these Pokeballs. But it's a cute show. I like it.
So you're saying that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing for people?
Maybe in that universe it's good. It's a different dimension, so
it sounds like it feels good to be a person in the Pokemon universe.
It sure does.
You're on top, dude. You're on top of all food chains ever made. Like that, they're not humans. They're eldritch beings. They gotta be.
So you're saying if you found a genie's lamp, your first wish wouldn't be for Pokemon to be real? Think about it. What would your starter be? What would your starter be?
Caterpie. I always liked Caterpie.
Butterfree is a good, strong Pokemon for the first half of the game. Like, Gen 1 anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fight him either. I'd be one of those people that, like, abdicate for Pokemon rights.
A breeder, you dirty bird.
Excuse me?
What's your pick, Cowboy?
Oh, right. We had a question. God damn it. My pick. Oh, I had a pick. I had a great pick. And this, I've been playing some old games lately. One of my favorite series, Dead Space. Dead Space has, despite even being made by EA, or EA's involved somehow, I know, right? Somebody correct me.
They're made by Visceral, who was owned by EA.
Yeah. They're involved in EA. When something gets good, it always gets fucked up. But the people that do the story actually held tight to some really cool lore. I have played all 3 games. I have read all the books, and I have watched all the anime movies that they released. I just consumed the content they put out. And the existential, just dread-filled story and world that they crafted behind it is really fucking cool. It's really neat, just with like the churches that popped up behind the markers, behind the psychology of how it works and how it plays off of like human DNA, and just, I don't know, the tales they weave, and the games themselves are really, really cool to me. I don't know. It's great. Like you said, it's world and lore. I love that world and lore. I don't know why, but that shit just attached to me as soon as I played it. So highly recommend it.
No, I agree. I did every single thing you did. I didn't read the books though, but I got you everywhere else. The Dead Space universe is so cool and so fascinating and fucking scary to be in.
And it took zombies and made them cool again. Because let's face it, they are kind of zombies, because the whole thing was trying to rip off or be inspired by Resident Evil, and they took it in a new direction with a new setting. And it's amazing, because I'm sick of zombies.
Did you ever play Dead Space, JB?
I did. Don't like it.
It's too spooky?
It's too spooky, and I just don't like it. Me and Cowboy actually played it. We played, what was it, Dead Space 2?
Yeah, we played together. 3.
3. You play 3 together.
Yeah, so we played that, and it was fine. But every time Cowboy was like, we're sitting there, and we're like, hey, what should we play? And he's like, what about Dead Space? And I'd be like, yeah, well, let's play Dead Space.
Here's the thing.
That's fun.
Sure.
You're not wrong, because EA's hands, again, you make a good game and you're under EA, slowly their tendrils start to slip in. And by the third one, you are now just like Gears of War Dead Space. You're tromping through. You got a really like tight over the shoulder camera. Your guns blazing at these guys, and that's never what it was supposed to be. They held on 2. They kept their creative team on 2, and EA killed it on 3, and that's why it's fucking gone. So,
well, I never liked any of them. So like there was one I played because it was free on Xbox Live back in the day, and I think it was 2 maybe. But I go in and I'm like fighting these little, zombie boys, and I'm like, okay, fine, that's fine. And then I get into this room, and this, like, the first boss grabs me and like eats me or some shit. It's like a quick time event.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Yep. So I closed that and I moved on to other games.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention your opinions are garbage, so that's another reason.
When it comes to horror games, yeah,
Probably.
I agree.
Yeah, horror is definitely not your genre. We know. I'm coming to notice.
Ain't no whole W in horror for you.
No, I can't because I want to, but then I like start shaking. My lips start quivering. I start sweating.
I love that shit.
Yeah, man.
Dead Space has the right mix of like, holy fuck, I'm gonna die, and get some, you fucking hook-handed bastard. Like, it's the right mix of adrenaline and fear. I think they nailed it. So if you got, if Frank hasn't played Dead Space, get it.
All right, so for the correct answer, Jake, what's your world and story lore game?
Don't do that.
Why am I hearing a book opening? What are you doing, Jake?
Cue the classical music.
Where'd you get that brandy in that armchair?
Welcome to the Story Corner. I'm Jake, your host. In today's episode.
Nice robe.
Oh, I didn't see you there. No, I'll be brief, man, because the game I'm picking also would take half an hour to explain the lore. My pick is Bloodborne.
Oh yeah.
One of the FromSoft games. It's, in the vein of Dark Souls. The lore is just as convoluted and hidden as the Dark Souls games. But yeah, man, I fell in love with the atmosphere of Bloodborne. So instead of, medieval dragons, gods, per se, things like that, they basically took inspiration from Lovecraft. They took eldritch, great old ones, and insanity and unknowable truths and beasts and things like that.
Yeah.
And they basically made a Dark Souls game out of that. The lore for Bloodborne I think it's way more intriguing to me because it's personal. It's very self-contained. It's all within one game. It's very character specific. You learn about a lot of things that were happening in the game through the characters you meet, because you meet all the heavy players and what happened. And I mean, it's basically a story of you set it in this really cool Gothic setting, this what would you say, 1700s era kind of Gothic city, and they find an ancient city underneath. They find out that great old ones exist. They find that they can harvest their blood. They find that the blood turns people into monsters if they take too much. And there's infighting between that and using great old ones' blood and using the knowledge that the great old ones provide. But spoiler alert, both sides turn you into big bad fucking monsters. And as you go through, the game transitions from you fighting beasts and werewolves and monsters and things like that. It feels very, Van Helsing-esque kind of.
Yeah.
It transitions from that to just this fucking cosmic landscape of great old one abominations and fucking big-headed alien monsters. And just you're fighting eldritch gods. And it blew my mind the way that progressed. And I think Bloodborne gives you that story a little more at face value than Dark Souls does too. So you have to read stuff and watch videos maybe to get like every little piece, but man, they just you just going through the game, you just get it. Oh, I could go on and on about it, man, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. For 2021 on Twitter, I called out, and I believe this, that Eldritch horror and Cthulhu and the great old ones, I get this feeling that that's going to be like a killing genre for 2021. I think somebody's going to make a really good game in that vein, and it's gonna spawn a wave of games that do well. I think that's going to be the genre to take off. Is just Eldritch horror.
So.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. It's kind of untapped right now, and like besides that, but I mean, isn't Dark Souls all their lores like through reading? You have to go find it. You have to read stuff, or was this in the gameplay, cutscenes and
you experience a lot of it, but you have to pay attention to what people are saying.
Yeah,
you find books. It's in descriptions of items, things like that. It all gets pieced together. So you might not find all of that on your own, but the world kind of holds your hand through all of it, that it's not so hard to guess what's going on, even if you weren't like a big lore hound reading every item description and stuff like that. Bloodborne does that better. Dark Souls, you can go from waking up in the prison all the way to killing the Lord of Cinder, just going, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? But no, Bloodborne presents it better and more organically, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed is your two games that you two chose are absolutely horrifying worlds to live in.
Yes, they
Like,
really are,
absolutely
dude.
terrible. Why would you ever want to live there?
Did it
They're
say
fun to
live in?
experience
Was that the
safely
question?
from a distance. No, not live in.
Oh, okay.
We're just saying which one do you think has the best? Like, I think
Yeah, but I
Cowboy and
think the
kinda have
best means
similar tastes.
I want to be in it. I want to live there. Like, that's what best means.
My
to me.
Is that
favorite
why
one
you
is
chose
the one where
Pokemon?
my favorite one is the one where people suffer the most.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
Doom,
basically.
but I would be one of the
basically.
humans.
JB,
I fucking love Doom. Oh my god.
JB, you don't even realize you chose one where beings suffer the most. Animals fight each other
Yeah, but it's not
nonstop.
me. I don't suffer. You chose the one where you suffer.
Okay, yeah.
You enact the suffering.
You
Yeah.
think
Right.
you're going to be the guy with the gun? No, you're going to be the dude cowering in the corner. Or like
oh,
no,
the dude that
not
drops
even.
the key
No,
card.
I'm going to have scythe hands is what I'm going to be.
Oh,
gonna be
you're just going straight
stumbling
necromorph?
I'm not going to have a choice, dude. I'm not in shape. I'm not that smart in emergencies. I'm not a protagonist, for sure. I've already discovered this. I am
Just
an
like-
NPC.
You're just like, Brother Moon, take the wheel, baby.
I'm a red shirt. I'm wearing a red shirt right now. I am a literal red shirt. You know, from Star Trek, in case this wasn't nerdy enough.
All right, so if we're living in the world, I would definitely be a hunter. I would be my player character. I wouldn't choose to be Jake in Yarnum. Because
You
Jake in
are
Yarnum's
you.
going to get eaten by werewolves.
Like, if you could choose who you would be, I would just be God from the Old Testament. And I would just murder everyone. I changed my answer. That's
I've altered the deal.
I changed this now.
Which
like-
game has the best lore? That's Noah's Ark for the NES.
But I'm the flood.
Bubble bobble.
Oh, shit.
I'm picturing
Oh.
me living in a world, and I go, Pokemon, I could survive there. Yeah, there's a bee that wants to kill me. But, like, I just
He wants to
capture an
drill
electric mouse, and then I'm fine, because you can use it against every Pokemon, if I've learned anything from the first anime series.
Could
You
Pikachu
can just
talk?
use a Pikachu against Onix. It's fine.
Could,
That's true, if you believe.
I can't remember.
you
Could
just-
Pikachu form sentences?
No, he just said, Pika.
Oh,
But
okay.
Ash could just, understand him.
He could understand him though. Yeah.
They had a bond. They had a really close friendship. I mean,
Yeah. Total
Terry
bondage.
talked about it in episode 2. I learned a lot from him. Like,
Oh, yeah,
there's
In
Yeah, they
that
just-
canon fanfic.
they got a special bond. But all right, man. That's listener questions. Thank you guys so much for sending stuff in. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
We love when our fans send stuff in. headtoheadpod@gmail.com. The 2 is a 2. I'm not saying what you guys say. I hate the tagline. So
Think shit.
uh,
No. JB's tagline. Think shit.
Shit. Head to head? Shit.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
number 2. Think shit. Shit, that's a good podcast.
All right. Now, before we move on, we here at Head to Head don't believe ourselves to be the end-all be-all when it comes to passing judgment on video game battles.
Nope.
We are just 3 guys with a passion for video games and implied violence. So, we would like to extend the gavel to you, trusty listeners, to help weigh in on what we call the Audience Head to Head. The Audience Head to Head is brought to you by the Pickup Artists Association. The Pickup Artists Association. You're pretty smart for a dumb person. Last episode, we asked you, what spooky game series... What spooky game series had the best first entry? Resident Evil 1 or Silent Hill 1? This was the closest audience head-to-head to date, with the winner and loser separated by only 2 votes. But once again, you spoke and declared that the best spooky series entrance goes to Resident Evil. And I just think that's because
Yeah.
the newest game in the series has really hot vampire ladies.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
they
real
revealed
hot.
that trailer. They went there, didn't they? They went there. Big giant vampire beauties. And you know the
She's
whole
with
world's going to play
big,
that.
giant vampire boobies.
She's like 7 feet tall, isn't she? Like I've been seeing the
I
meme.
think she's taller,
huge.
man. So the girls in the black robes are player character height, and like I don't know her name yet, but yeah, the woman in white, she's like 8 or 9 feet tall.
Can I also say that people are like being weird with the hype about her because she's not that attractive. She's like,
you don't think she's pretty?
She's like an old Southern belle. She's got to be in
she
like
is
her
not
40s.
old. Have you watched other cutscenes?
She's got this weird Pleasantville kind of look to her, and
I think she's gorgeous.
I can't agree. I don't know what people see. I feel like they just had like a memeable thing, and they all went for it. I just don't see it. And I liked Nyx from Hades.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Like, you like that style.
Big old mommies with big old mommy milkers are my thing, and this did not do it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm not into... Is she a goth? Could I say that she's a goth when it's all white, like a reverse goth? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I'm not into that.
She's a vampire.
Vampires love all black.
She's a castle-owning Southern Belle vampire that's 9 feet tall and has pokey fingers.
I don't see any negatives here.
That's
not a single.
That's not in my fantasy wheelhouse. That's not. It's not what I would choose.
All right. Well then, so for this week, we ask, what game had the most disappointing launch? The broken and misleading No Man's Sky, or the broken and misleading Cyberpunk 2077?
Oh, my heart.
You can respond to this question on social media or reach out directly at head2headpod@gmail.com. That's the number 2, like shit.
Like shit. I always think head to head pod. I always put the head and the pod together, so it's head to head pod.
That's how you say that in your head?
Yeah, every time.
Head
you say
to
head
pod?
pod?
What's a head pod? I don't know. It's a head to head pod.
Head to head pod.
And there we go. Marketing said we need to say it 7 times to get it ingrained in your brain, Frank.
I always say
I
always think it's head to head pod at. That's what I think. It's head pod at.
I always think of it as head-to-headpod@gmail.com, like one word.
I actually pronounce it wrong. It's head to head podat. It's a podat.
I always think that this bit's going on too long. Can I say, man, No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk 2077, and I must be an optimist because those were my jam before they came out. And I'm not a pre-order kind of guy, but both of those, I was like, yes, somebody is getting innovative. Somebody's going out there. They're trying stuff. They're putting their faith in something creative without knowing that it'll generate money. And they both dashed my hopes, which sucks because I want game companies to go for that kind of shit. And these two are shining examples of it not working. It sucks, man.
Yeah, man. The biggest hype can lead to the biggest letdown, and that's why they're so notable.
But here's the thing. It's not normal letdown. It's not like this is going to be brilliant and then it was pretty good. They're catastrophes. They're absolutely in the opposite direction is the problem, full of bugs and glitches. So it just sucks. I don't know what, maybe like the developers get in their own heads about it. And then I know No Man's Sky, because I did my research, when they were going through the process of developing the game, they had a flood in their studio. They lost about half the game and had to start from scratch. They had to restart the game after like a year in development. I don't know.
That's
Somebody
insane.
Look up the facts on Google, but something close to that. So, but I'm loving both of them now. I think both developers are going to put in the work to bring them back up to snuff. No Man's Sky already is. So, sorry, that just affected me. I had to get that off my chest about those two games. And I'm loving Cyberpunk 77. Its story and everything.
Nope. It's back. I'm worried about this whole feud with the YouTube department again. I'm sorry, guys. Obviously we can't have an actual fight at work, right?
No, I think we can win. I've got a few plans.
I was trying to be optimistic, but Jake's right. That's not the point. It's if the higher ups find out that we have a real fight in the office, no corporation is going to stand for that. We're going to get fired. We got to find a way out of this.
Hello, nerds.
Oh,
the boss wants you in a conference call right now.
Oh, shoot. Okay, this is bad. God, I hate when he calls.
He'll be fine. Just stay cool. Nobody say anything about the fight.
Okay.
All right, Yesman. go ahead and pass him through, I guess.
He's actually already on the line. He just didn't know how to make a conference call by himself. Did you hear all that, sir?
No. I gotta space out whatever you talk, yes, but it's your voice. It's like if a knitting block could talk. Anyway, listen up, you numbskulls. You're still here, right, numbskulls?
Yeah, go ahead, boss. We're here.
Right. Yeah, I know that. Good. Well, listen up. A rumor has just reached my office. People are saying you guys are secretly using corporate grounds to stage an illegal fight club during work hours. One that will endanger company staff and could end in liable injury, dismemberment, or even untimely death of your co-workers.
Boss, we can explain.
No, you listen up. I told you numbskulls you are on thin fucking ice, and you think to pull this little stunt. There's only one thing I can say.
Damn it. We'll start cleaning out our desks.
Bravo. Great work. I'm really impressed. I really am.
What?
I can't believe you boys really stepped up and took the initiative to host bouts of workplace violence directly on the podcast, and right when I was really starting to doubt your commitment to savage brutality through battle. But I can see you guys are dedicated to glorious bloodshed after all. And here I was about to pull the podcast and fire all of you. That would have been embarrassing. Ooh.
Yeah, that's us. We love hurting people.
Yeah, especially me, because when nobody is looking, I punch children?
And I, for one, can never get enough of misery and anguish of other people.
Oh, yeah. You guys know your stuff. I knew you guys were definitely my kind of dudes.
They're lying, sir. I don't think they've ever been in a fight or even kicked a small pet.
No, nonsense. Why would they risk the future of their department and their jobs by challenging the YouTubers in combat if they weren't dedicated to the glory of battle?
When you say risk our jobs...
You say you love violence, but you haven't even read the Office Code of Combat. It states all interdepartmental conflicts are settled in a battle, where only one department can be left standing. The winners get the loser's job, and the losers most certainly get fired. And with the YouTube staff comprised of 15 of the angstiest teens to ever consume violence-encouraging media, you boys don't stand a chance.
Yes, man.
Yes, sir.
Get off the line.
Yes, sir.
Well, I gotta go. Good luck in your fight for your jobs, boys. Now get back to twerk, and don't forget the ad.
Oh, well, that's it. We're boned. It's game over, man. Game over.
Goddamn. So our choices are to not fight and lose our jobs, or to fight these guys, lose, and then lose our jobs? I don't even know what we're going to do.
Well, I mean, maybe we just...
No. You heard him. You fucking heard him, guys. It's 15 angsty teens. We can't win against that many.
I don't even know how to fight, dude. We should just start looking for new jobs now.
Guys, I have plans. Do you...
I don't even think it'll help, but I mean, I guess you could fade out whisper it while we go to the ad.
Well, here's what I was thinking. So first we...
Come on down to Billy's Grill-O-Rama, 1 mile south of Harrison's Crossing. We got specials out the wazoo for you and your kin. You'll be shitting in tall cotton when you bring home the Big Bobby Barbecue Blasted Meat Bucket with your choice of over 40 different mammals, smoked to pure perfection and slathered in 9 different barbecue sauces to create that perplexing Bobby brand flavor. Fan of sides? We got 58. Count them, 58 sides to satisfy even the most horrifyingly gluttonous of appetites. Drinks? Of course, you idiots, we got drinks. Slurp down that sweet sarsaparilla 4 quarts at a time and watch your life slip away as your barbecue-slathered heart goes into cardiac arrest because you can't say no to your 5th plate of possum rings, you uncontrollable muncher. Don't touch me. Eat it up, you fat I'm the star here. Don't touch me. This is my house, and I am God in this house. You will listen to what I'm saying. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'll barbecue you. I'll barbecue you, buddy. I'll barbecue you. I'll burn this whole house down, buddy. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Yeah, cut the audio. No, we can't use this. Yeah, delete it. We don't want to send this to anybody.
Beat-em-ups were all the rage when I was a child in the early 1500s. I mean, wait, how old am I again? It doesn't matter, because with reboots like these, you can forget how old you are for a few hours and recapture the terrible controls, annoying enemies, and repetitive gameplay of these classic franchises. But only one can reign supreme in today's head-to-head showdown.
Our first contender in today's matchup is Battletoads, a new entry from Rare in their classic beat-em-ups about 3 anthropomorphic toads named after my skin conditions in high school: zit, pimple, and melanoma. What? Oh, right, rash. Well, yeah, I had that too. In this side-scrolling 3-toad co-op game, you'll play as the wisecracking, loogie-hawking, giant-fisting aggressive amphibians with the superpower to transform into anything, but only if they are using it to commit comically grievous assaults against cartoon bad guys. Yes, heavily inspired by the original, this game leaves none of the classic frustrations behind, including punishingly annoying enemies that combo lock you, gimmicky sequences that go on for way too long, and the famously difficult motorbike obstacle course sequence. Because back in Nintendo's heyday, that was the way they gave it to you, long and hard. No pun intended. But wade through the gameplay in order to follow these toads on a meandering, self-satisfying story that takes itself way less seriously than you ever could, with a glorious amount of Newgrounds-worthy cutscenes and a say-anything wacky type of frivolous humor that always helps to distract from the weak, nearly non-existent plot. In the beginning, you'll break free from a simulation inside the simulation just for the toads to realize they've been locked in a video game obscurity. You'll team up with the original bad girl, Dark Queen, who will not aid you in the slightest in defeating this new generation of bad guys, the Topians. The guys who remind me of the 2 tallest from Invader Zim, but drawn a bit like the balls of gas from Rick and Morty, and exchanging banner like the characters from Bob's Burgers. And you'll defeat these overlords not really to save the universe, but just in the hopes of making the Battletoads popular again. Which is totally meta, because the pointlessness of the game's goals internally is to help emphasize how intrinsically pointless they are in themselves except to the goals externally. Like, what's the point of a simulation inside a simulation if that simulation is inside of another simulation? I mean, don't you get it? No? Yeah, me neither.
All right, guys, let's talk about Battletoads. I was pleasantly surprised by this game, but not for any of the reasons I thought I would be going into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. So let's talk about this first. Did all 3 of us play the original Battletoads when we were kids? Did all of us?
Nope.
No? Not at all?
No. I played... Wait, Battletoads Double Dragon. Was that the original?
No.
Okay, I played that
one of them. And
that was cool.
Did you play it leading up to this? Have you played the original yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't play the original... Well, no, that's a lie. I was going to say I didn't play the original to either of these, but that's not true.
I mean, maybe it's good that you didn't. The original was kind of frustrating as a kid. Like, as an adult.
Oh my god, super frustrating. Yeah. Let's address that really quick, because I think it has to be over 90%, well over 90% of everyone who played the original Battletoads back when we were kids, we didn't get past the speeder bike level.
Oh, fuck that level.
The entire game for almost everyone on Earth was level 1, cool, beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Where you got to fly pig monsters and fight a robot by throwing rocks at it. Level 2, rappelling down a huge tunnel and like kicking birds and stuff.
And turning into 3, that big old wrecking ball and
the wrecking ball, yeah.
That shit was cool.
Yeah. Which had really, really cool mechanics to it. And then level 3, the speeder bike of doom that nobody ever fucking passed.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's the kind of that's the thing like you hand off to your older brother like, and you glorify your older brother and you think so highly, you're like, he'll beat this for me, and then it just ends in him being embarrassed and you still haven't won, and nobody feels happy at the end of
Nobody's
that.
bigger brother beat the original, yeah.
You never look at your brother the same again. That ruins your image of him.
You know,
Damn,
that's so
Battletoads.
funny to me because the speeder bike level, the most I know of Battletoads, the original, is the speedruns I've seen on like GDQ, Games Done Quick. Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. So
No.
they have like these yearly competitions. Anyway, the most I've seen is like the blindfolded runs of that speeder bike level. And people will do it blindfolded using only audio cues.
The original?
Yeah. The original. And everybody always talks it up like this is the hardest level in this entire game. Once you beat this, you're fine. And they talk it up, and I'm just like, it looks so easy. I don't know why they're struggling because they just go, yep, left, okay, right, okay, left, okay, right. I'm just like, that's got to be pretty easy, right? I should probably play the original just to get a better understanding of how difficult what they're doing actually is.
It seems like it, but the response of the controls, the having to hold the button just long enough to land perfectly to have time to move out of the way, and the fact that the obstacles, like, they come in weird. They flash, and that kind of like sets you off that you think it's about to come, and the timing gets all weird. It's like everything's offbeat. It just fucks with you. It really does on the original.
I didn't get that from the remake. Did you guys?
No.
I can point this out as well. So, yeah, the speeder bike levels were, for one, passable. They were challenging, but passable.
Easy.
Also, a big mechanic with this new one is, I guess we'll get into it when we talk about the actual game when we get there.
We're doing that now.
Right. So when you play by yourself, which most of us played the original Battletoads by ourselves.
Yeah.
If you play it by yourself, you're not alone. You still have the other two with you that you can switch to at any time. And if they get taken out, they're just on a timer to come back. So it's not like if they're out for the whole level. That made those levels a lot easier because if you fucked up, you still had two other toads to rely on. And then 30 seconds later, they're back anyway. So that made it a lot easier to pass. In the original, you just worked on a couple lives. I mean, it's NES days, right?
Yeah.
You lose a couple lives, you're fucking done. It's back to the beginning of the entire game.
The landscape of gaming was brutal back then.
It sure was. And these are the games that we played. These brutal fucking games are what we played when we were kids.
But, we were forged in fire.
Everything was a roguelite back then. Everything was a frustrating roguelite.
Yeah. So think about it. You're on that speeder bike level. You're alone. You don't have any leeway. You get one thing messed up. It's a life gone. And you only have a couple. So you don't get to fuck up on this level. You might have 2 or 3 lives. To fall back on it in case something happens. And something's gonna happen. You have to either get it perfect or you start at the beginning of the game.
Right.
So
and
that's why that's it. That's why.
And that's how they milked gameplay. Like we've talked about that. They want you to die. And I hate when old people, say things like, back in my day. Like that's bullshit. But this is a total back in my day. Like when you talk about games now and you talk about playing on Nintendo and stuff, it's a total back in my day. You don't understand. I had to put in a password. I had 3 lives. I had to beat the game in one sitting. Really, we have valid reasons to say that shit.
Yeah.
But the motorbike was easy because one, you get the dash mechanic now, so you can easily move.
Wait, there was a dash?
Yeah, you can dash side to side.
No fucking way.
Me?
Really?
You
can dash? I didn't dash. I didn't lose a single life that entire time.
I didn't
There's
lose
a quick
either.
strafe. There's a quick strafe.
I didn't even know that. I played it just with the arrows. I just moved left and right, and I didn't have to restart. I beat all of the or both of the. I only played 2 of the motorbike sections, but I didn't lose either one.
They heard their audience and they did a 180 on it. They went from making it impossible to like baby cakes, dude. Like it was easy. There's no problem.
Wait, so how did you dash? What button?
Your triggers. It tells you.
Yeah.
You just didn't read it.
you.
It tells you.
It's not like a quick strafe in an action game where you're instantly on the other side. It just makes you go faster.
It's
in that
fast
direction.
though. It's quick. It'll move you.
Yeah. But the reason why I bring up the beginning and bring up all of this is I did not notice until a few hours before we started recording. I actually watched a playthrough of the entire game of the original Battletoads, which if you know what you're doing, you can beat in 46 minutes. If you know what you're doing. I realized that this reboot is a total love letter, not just to the Battletoads and to the wackiness of the franchise, but it's a love letter to all of the mechanics, all of it. And I'm talking everything that you do in this weird game, save for the QuickTime events, are represented in the original Battletoads. Because when we were playing this, we realized early on, we're doing an episode about brawlers. Battletoads isn't just a brawler.
No.
We realized as we were playing, it's a variety show, right? So, it has great brawler elements, but you're doing all sorts of shit. Like, what all does the game do, guys?
The original?
Help me remember. No, this reboot. So you have your kick-ass brawler segments.
So for this one, you got your brawlers, and then you have your kind of, let's say, motion scenes or vehicle scenes in which you'll do the speed bikes, and then you'll do the sleigh one that we all played, where you had to like switch up what kind of terrain.
Oh, the Tony Hawk grinding.
Yeah, the grinding thing. It's got the weird little cut scenes just to get you. They're like transitional scenes where you just do QuickTime events to get filled in with story. So like playable. Almost what's that called, a montage, like playable montage. And then it had an exploration platformer section,
a platform element,
which was so fucking weird to me. Like,
and they had the Galaxy in, or Galaga, depending on which game you played.
They had the Galaga
the space
one.
section.
Yeah, it
had the ship flying bullet hell. Yeah, that one was actually first brought up in, like, I think it was Battletoads Double Dragon, but yeah. So this game is a crazy variety show of all those different things. And I mean, at first I just thought, like, what the fuck are they doing? It's so weird and wacky. But yeah, even the platform stuff. There's levels in Battletoads where it's totally the original, where it's totally all platformer. If you ever got past that speeder bike level, you would experience the rest of the game. And it's this.
I don't know if I did.
No, nobody did. And it's these things. It's all of these things.
But here's
that this crazy game does.
With the new one, I kind of had a love-hate relationship with it, because I like when things get varied up and you don't like stick in a rut and just do the same thing. But some of this, like, I liked it and what it was, but some of it went on way too long.
Yes,
or it was
all of it went on way too long. All of it. Every single section was just like, okay, yes, I get it. Is this the game?
Totally,
Is this the whole game? And then I would play it more and more and be like, okay, I'm going to quit. And then it would transition and be like, ooh, speeder bikes. Okay, I can do that. And you take the time to learn it and you take the time to master it, and it keeps going. And you're like, okay, all right, well, maybe this is the last section of this. And then there's another one. And you're like, maybe this is the last one. The last one should have been the last one, but maybe this one. And then there's another one. And you're like, okay, I'm done with this. And then there's another one. And then you finish that one, and finally it moves on to something else.
Yeah, when you lost to them, you didn't feel like, I need to do better. You just felt like, all right, just let me, God, this isn't even worth
That
beating.
is true.
Just
that
all
is
right
true.
already.
Every single variety show segment did go a little longer than needed. And it's funny, too, because the game, I crushed it in 3.5 hours playing it solo. And it's so funny because it's only 3.5 hours long, my playthrough, and yet a lot of it felt too long.
Yeah. Which is weird. It's just, that's why I had a love-hate with it. I was like, I like it, but just, it's too much. Like, they need to back off it, and they probably just needed to pad. They had to pad it out.
It's like they finished the game, and they were like, holy shit, this game is only 90 minutes long.
Yep.
What do we do? And they're like, why don't you just add like 2 segments to each segment?
Yep.
And it's like, oh yeah, that'll give us 3 hours.
Like
they're like, okay, cool. Let's do it.
The platforming thing, you do like 2 levels of it, and you're like, all right, that was cool. And it just keeps going. You're like, no, I got it, guys. And then the gymnast sequence. Well, I don't know if I should be giving away too much of it.
Well, the gymnast sequence I thought was good, because that was like,
that's cool.
That was like one segment. They probably could have added another one to that and taken it off of other places.
But aren't QuickTime events kind of like the big no-no in the gaming industry? Aren't they like kind of a cheap, easy way?
People complained about them, but if they're executed well, I think they can be fun. Let's talk about that then.
I think if they're short and sweet.
Yeah, and I think Battletoads is. So yeah, let's talk about that. So this new thing that Battletoads has done with the newest game, there's QuickTime events. So I guess we have to also touch on the story a little bit. This is not the edgy, big, beefy Battletoads who fight the dominatrix-looking Dark Queen, like 80s cocaine-fueled, like heavy metal landscape shit.
Yeah.
They reimagined Battletoads as a Cartoon Network show, I think.
Yes.
The original was wacky, but it also kind of took itself seriously as far as like the elements in it. This one takes itself seriously in no way whatsoever on all fronts.
And it's amazing because it does that.
That was a plus.
This game has one of the best lines of the last 5 years.
What?
Suck my dump truck.
Suck my dump truck.
Suck my dump truck is one of the best. That entire section, if they just released that, it would get 1 million views on YouTube. Probably more than that.
It's funny because it's from the well-composed Dark Queen where she's like holding her shit together, and then she just goes off on this hilarious, like not quite profanity-laden, but, you know, like close enough kind of tirade. And like the voice actress did a great job. It was so funny. Like,
and how she bends over and spreads her cheeks Ace Ventura style when she's saying, suck my dump truck.
She makes her cheeks,
And she just goes off on this insult tangent. I think, so that was the one great thing about this was the cutscenes. Like, it's... Yeah. And I think Jake said it, like, I would watch a cartoon made out of this thing.
Mm-hmm. These cutscenes were... I never once thought about skipping them.
Yeah,
not once. And that's okay. Let me point that out. I'm sitting with two of the most cutscene skippingest motherfuckers that I've ever seen. Like you guys quick draw. You quick draw that skip button. If a video game walks up in the middle of a street, you guys have your hands on your holsters saying, "Where's the X button?
Yeah,
where's it at?
Is it escape? Is it enter? Is it space bar?"
As soon as it pops up on the screen, like my fingers are doing their little dance above the keyboard. Go ahead and draw that prompt.
It still breaks my heart, but I digress. Yeah. So
smoke that skin wagon. Skin that smoke wagon. Wait a minute.
Smoke that skin wagon.
Wait a minute.
What the fuck is a skin wagon?
It's skin that smoke wagon. I said it wrong. Oh my god.
Smoke that skin wagon.
God, Freud, you bitch.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did that to me.
Okay. So, So, yes. It's a huge plus. This game, the story is super nonsensical, but it's such a fun story.
Oh, God.
And it's written so well. It's one of the funnier games I've played in a long time. If you really like,
is written well.
The dialogue's great.
Yeah.
The cuts. We're talking about the story elements itself, like the cutscenes. They're animated again, just like a cartoon. They are cartoons. They're not. It's not in game anything. They are cartoons. And the comedy timing is fucking great. When we were all playing it together, we were cracking up.
Oh yeah.
You know, with everything. So that's a huge plus for that.
Remember that part where when they meet the Dark Queen and he's just like, all right, go and just do it. Go ahead and
oh my god,
punch me through the brain.
I don't want to do it, but I will punch through your brain.
Oh my god, dude, I was crying.
Punch through my brain.
All right, I'm gonna punch through your brain.
So like, oh my god, they're acting so serious. They're like, all right, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to lose you, but I'll punch through your brain if that's what you want.
The comedy dialogue and the timing and the voice acting are great. Now, the beef I had for a minute is when you said the story, because I can beef against the plot points. But the content that makes up those cutscenes is it's the best. It's worth it just for that.
Yes.
Just for that.
Oh, yeah. You're not getting there's no groundbreaking lore. Yeah. Like you don't go into this getting, that God of War story, the new one. Like
or a story that makes sense.
Or a story that even makes sense. You're going into it to watch a really fun cartoon. Like it's what it is. It's just what it is.
I mean, you could cut out the gameplay and smash all of that together. It literally just plays out like a cartoon.
You're shocked about that. When you're writing Jeff's body, or like he shows up before you do. And they're like, oh, that just sounds like lazy writing.
Yeah.
And they're like, whatever.
I always love self-aware.
Yeah, it sure is. It's self-depreciating. It's super self-aware. This game really knows what it is, and it knows how silly the premise of Battletoads is. They know
it's so meta too.
It's so meta.
It really is. Like how
think about just the name of the game. It's Battletoads.
It's Battletoads.
It's frogs that fight. What is this? They could have called it Fighting Frogs, and it would have been alliteration, but they chose Battletoads.
It's a rip-off of Ninja Turtles. Like, it is Ninja Turtles. They gave them, 80s edge, and there you go. Now you're fucking Battletoads.
It's almost like they wrote a skit for like SNL, and they're like, "Hey, it's like Ninja Turtles, but it's Battletoads. It's funny." And SNL was like, "That's some bullshit. I'm not doing that." And they're like, "Fine, we'll make a game out of it. It'll be fun."
That's a literal like ripoff of adjective noun. Ninja Turtles, Battletoads. Like,
yeah, it really is.
That's great.
Okay. This is an episode about brawlers, though. Let's at least talk about
the combat,
the brawling, the brawling. Let's talk about the combat in this game. How'd you guys like it?
It felt good. It felt real good.
I agree.
Like, really? Yes. And I thought the combo system was great. There was always something else to do. Like, I never figured out how to do the different power attacks. Like, so sometimes I would be like punch, 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 power attack, and it would do one move. But then other times I would do punch, 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 power attack, and it would do this other move. Like, it would bring out a video game console. And I'm like, wait, how do I do that? Because that was cool. And I could never figure out how to force it to do a certain special, So I felt like it was well varied in the form of combat.
Yeah, I felt like the moveset was a bit like limited, and I felt like I didn't have as much control to like be good at the game. Like I couldn't like
really.
The skill curve was very limited. You had a very short soon ceiling on it, in which it was just mash the shit out of them and dash. But I do want to say it felt so good though. Like as far as the feeling of the combat, being able to dash on a fucking dime, like when you had to. You weren't locked into your animation.
Yeah, you could animation cancel with a dash, which was amazing.
And all the sound effects of when you smash into them, the big like spike balled fist, and when they hit them, the animation
the big
lining
morphs.
up with
the morph attacks,
the sound effects. Mm-hmm. It's, besides gameplay, there's a thing that like gets your brain to go, yeah, I nailed that. Yeah, that's impactful. It has tons of it. It's great.
And it kind of has that Castle Crashers where you like knock them up and then combo them.
It did.
That felt so good.
Yeah, so it had good feeling, but some of the design was a bit off. Like it was kind of difficult to get certain things to work or to have total control of them. But it's a small beef against it. I think overall it was good.
Man, I just didn't feel that. I've always played the whole game.
I've always had frustration with fighting games. I might be the odd man out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, who knows? When I soloed this game, when I was playing by myself, like there's just as many enemies on the screen as there is when we're all playing together. It's the same game. I don't know, man. It just kind of clicked with me pretty early, and I felt like it was so fast and frantic, and it just felt really rewarding to clear a room because they get really crowded, and there is shit that you constantly have to dodge, avoid. Let's talk about some of the stuff you can do there too. So Battletoads introduces not only like a pretty fun combo system, like you can really juggle people. Yeah. This game lets you juggle. There's the dash, which feels really good. There's you hawk you spit gum. You hawk a big gum loogie.
You can stun people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stun. You stun people in place. So it recharges. You could do it twice and it'll slowly recharge. But as you're fighting, you can actually target individuals that are like shooting ranged attacks and stuff on the other side of the screen and fucking stun them with that bubblegum and keep going.
It was pretty accurate too. The thing I was amazed is it always hit the person I wanted. Like the game
It never hit the wrong person. Yeah. That felt so good.
It's
bizarre how they got that so accurate. Yeah.
Maybe they just know who you'll prioritize and they make sure it goes for them because you kind of know you want to take out your ranged guys.
I'm pretty sure they did like a pixel like line like I keep wanting to say ray tracing, but it's not like that. It's like it shoots out a pixel and it hits something, right? And that's how they choose which one to attack. Yeah, I feel like that's what they did, and it was like a single pixel.
I think they used black magic. That's my guess.
So yeah, man, like this game, the sections where you get to brawl, which everyone thinks
and you
Battletoads
forgot about the you can pull people towards you.
Oh my God,
or
you're
you
right.
can pull yourself to them. So you can choose in any given moment. Do I want to relocate or do I want to pull them?
Yeah. It had enough variety to keep things going. Like, there was the meat and potatoes. You loved it. Like, you liked the cutscenes, but, like, you were ready to get back to just bashing.
Mm-hmm.
You were, yes.
That's
so
important
that is
for a beat 'em up.
Oh my God, yeah. That's the part of the game that feels the most fun. It feels good to play those elements too.
It does.
It feels good. It feels like some of the other ones, like, of course, they're paying homage to the original with the speeder bike segments or with the platforming, but you don't want to do those. Like when you're playing Battletoads, everyone thinks the original Battletoads is about brawling.
Yeah.
That's what everyone thinks it is. Come to find out, if you play the whole thing, it's not, but nobody knows.
Nobody
everyone thinks you're going in for a brawler. It's not a variety show, but yeah, the brawling segments are what you want. It's what you want, and you play those other segments to get back to it.
Yeah. And that's how that whole thing kind of comes in, where you're just like, it's like when you have to listen to shitty verses and you're like, just get me back to the chorus. Just get me back to that chorus. I want an all-chorus song. No verses, no intro.
So that was Battletoads, a game that has amazing controls, transitions well, and is hilarious as hell, but it also struggles with its inability to change the fucking game when I'm ready for it. Instead, it keeps going and going and going like the fucking Energizer Bunny. Okay, Cowboy, what about our next game?
Our second contender in today's matchup is River City Girls, a revamp of the game series that spawned River City Ransom on the Nintendo. This time developed by Way Forward, a developer known for the Shantae series and really not much else. In this 21st century version, the previous protagonists, the high school street brawlers Kunio and Ricky, have allegedly been captured this time around, and so now it's up to their self-proclaimed girlfriends to save them. You'll play as the delightfully airheaded Kyoko and the permanently annoyed hot-headed Masako, as they anime girl their way across the high school for insane hyperviolent teens, apparently. From the moment that you leave your chair, you'll be indiscriminately raising healthcare premiums across the city as you fight cheerleaders in malls, tiger-faced wrestlers through construction sites, and even beat some good old-fashioned cop ass in the streets, because this game is all about role reversals. Haha, controversial. This game features full anime cutscenes for the bosses, classic visual novel-type trivial dialogue, and even sports animated comic book story sequences. Scott Pilgrim much? You'll move from one red herring to the next just to find out that your princes are in another castle. And you'll be introduced into a cast of colorful characters who range anywhere from odd to quirky to weird and even to wacky, with the occasional absurd, just to mix things up. The dialogue in this game plays out like it was written by an 8-year-old with ADHD after recently firing her editor and replacing them with cocaine. That is to say, it's your fairly average anime game scripts. All emotions are dialed up to 11, everyone talks nonsense until it's time to drop a plot point, and despite occupying the same universe, no one ever seems to understand each other. Oh, and fights needlessly break out just to stave off the boredom of it all. Well, actually, that might be a fairly good representation of high school. Huh. Okay, point withdrawn.
All right, guys, let's talk about the misadventures of Kyoko and Masako. I really liked this game. I have a lot of bad to say too, but there's a lot about this game I really, really loved. Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about where this fits as far as the lore or where it is. I didn't know about this until recently also.
Yeah.
We knew this is a reboot of River City Ransom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know that it takes that style. You're in River City. It's a side-scrolling, cool, beat 'em up across the city to save. In River City Ransom, it's your girlfriends. You're saving your boyfriends in this one.
Yeah, the only game I ever knew in this series.
Yeah, so here's the thing. This is actually part of the Kunio-kun saga series, whatever you want to call it. It spans all the way from, the NES era. There's like 20-something games in this, and they're not even all fight. Yeah, they're not even all fighting games. It's basically, they take the character, Kunio, and he's like anime Mickey Mouse getting his hands in everything. Like,
no shit. So they did this like a Mario, like they have like Kunio Tetris and like Kunio Tennis and like Kunio Bowling.
a lot of sports games and stuff. Yeah, he's a character that pops up in like 20 plus different types of games.
They have like Kunio Puzzle, and it's just like Tetris Attack, like
Kunio Paint.
Yeah, Kunio Paint, where you squish flies with your fly swatter.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to figure out what exactly all the games were, and I know it was different sports games. So this is always a constant. He's Kunio. He's a high schooler. He's still a badass high schooler. Like, that's just what he is. And he's still, the brawling king of the high school, but he's also, into sports. So it takes what would a high schooler do? And they just make games about all that shit, it's super interesting. But River City Girls falls into this. And I guess you wouldn't even have to care about that.
One of Cowboy's favorite games is River City Ransom. It's one of his favorites of all time. And I've played it with him multiple times, and I gotta say it.
No, you don't.
River City Girls is better.
Oh, sure. Than River City Ransom in every way, I think. Yeah.
And not in every way. I disagree with that
Not in every
statement,
way?
But
I think every way. I think every single one.
In general, better, but worse in combat. In the one thing it's supposed to do, which is a beat 'em up, it's supposed to beat 'em up. It's worse at beating 'em up than River City Ransom.
Well, so if I could throw in a trash opinion too, I think that the world is flat. Hopefully that's equal to what you're saying, because you have garbage opinions.
Sure.
Nostalgia. But the original, you didn't really play it through because it first seemed like a stupid kind of beat 'em up until you got into the depth of it and you realized, I can unlock like cool movesets. I can grind and become this kung fu master.
Yeah, that's one of the ways I think River City Ransom is better, is the upgrade system, the depth, and the actual, like the combos and the combat.
Yeah.
I think the beat 'em up portion, River City Ransom wins. Everything else, River City Girls wins.
Okay, I'll agree to that.
Yeah. Well, but the combat is where, and that's the core of the game, the combat and how that all shapes out. It is way more fun in the original. This one was a little bit too frustrating for me. You had to learn not to become frustrated by it and play it a certain way so it didn't annoy you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right. Yes. The combat in River City Girls is, I think it's slow.
Mm-hmm.
It's slow. It's frustrating. There's no juggling.
Nope.
It's a very unsatisfying fight system because you can get some good hits in, pow, 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 and then they fly away or fall over. And if they fall over, you just kind of kick them a little bit until they get back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And me and Cowboy played together, and we realized that the issue was the way they coded the game. Cowboy, I think you know what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pass it over to you since you're like, you know more about this than I do.
I was hoping you'd set me up with a little bit of context.
So like the parabola of their arc, the way they fall.
So when you go to juggle them, the problem is it sets you up with like this anticipation animation of them floating in the air, and then you use the physics of them going up to like understand, okay, here's how fast they're going to fall. They drop like a brick suddenly. Like they float up into the air, and then when they come down, they slam into the ground, and your timing is always off. You have to always hit it way early. And it makes no sense. They just wanted the animation to look cool, like they were hitting the ground hard, but you can't. Yeah. It's impossible to anticipate. And then another beef is, like Jake said, everything ends in a knockdown. In the original game, you'd pick up a trash can and you hit somebody in the head with it. They might like still be standing by the time you hit them 2 or 3 times. And this one, if you hit them with a weapon, they go and fall down. You got to wait for them to get back up. You do like a cool move, they're on the ground. You got to wait for them to get back up. And the stomping on them, it hardly does damage, and it's unsatisfying. They really should have paid attention to their fighting. I don't think these guys understood what it meant to create like this classic kind of brawler way forward. And there's a few simple things they just got wrong, and it does a lot. It speaks volumes.
If they took like a wrestling game where the more damage they are, the more they lay down, and then they added in a thing like if you kick them in the fucking face when they're down on the ground 3 times, they die. Like that would have made the game just that much better, right? Because they're like, oh, they're down. Let me kick them 3 times, but they get up on 2.
They're fist sponges is the problem.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Every single character takes so many hits.
You could knock a guy down 5 times, and you can stomp him when he's down, and he won't be dead until like the 5th time. You just have to it's like, what's that game? Destiny, The Division, except with fighting. Fist sponge. It's annoying. In the original, couple hits, they're down. You take 10 shots, and boom, they're done. You move on. This one really just I don't know why they extended the health. You know?
I don't know either. So
they dropped the ball.
Yeah, it sucks because everything else the game does, it's so great. Like, it's a brawler where the worst aspect is the brawling.
Yeah, that's sad.
Woof, right? Yeah. So,
but they did get some points right though, with the moves and stuff.
The moves look cool.
Oh, the upgrade system was amazing. Yeah. I loved it so much. You had to pick and choose. That's what I liked about it the most, was you couldn't just get all the upgrades, or you didn't just level up and get an upgrade. You had to go out and choose which one you wanted.
Yeah. And you had to grind a bit. So after you defeat a batch of enemies, if you wait long enough, more will come back. So you can have a little bit of that RPG element, which the original was a little bit of an RPG, where you can grind them, farm them, and buy new upgrades, buy new items. And I mean, it was kind of fun. If they didn't have that tweak where it takes too long to kill them, the combos feel good when you smack into them 8 times, then you finish them off with a dab. Remember with
your dab attack as Kyoko?
Literally dabs on the haters. And that was the only move I used. Once I figured out you could dab on the haters, I did little else.
Yeah, man, it is super unfortunate. The moves look really cool, and when you do them, they feel good. If the enemies just died sooner, that might have even solved the juggling problem.
Yep.
Yeah. And then they didn't even allow you to game the system. Is something that I take personal offense to, because I'm the type of person that will sit there and grind for 30, 40 minutes. I'm the type of person, all right, that in Fable sat there and punched that poor lady by the dock so I would get unlimited strength so I could kill everything in one hit, right? That's me.
That's why you did that? I thought you were just an angry kid.
Well, anyway, so I would do that sort of thing just because it makes the rest of the game easier, which is more fun to me. That's the point. It's more fun. In Skyrim, I would sneak walk around in the bear cave so I would get unlimited sneak, just so I could be amazing.
Oh, in the very beginning? Yeah, I did that too.
Yes, because that's fun to me. I enjoy it. I think it's great.
You're still putting in the work on your
terms.
They
took that out of this game, because if you sit there long enough, all of the enemies give you 0 experience.
Oh, right.
That is such a big no-no, man.
They had to choose. I can picture them sitting in the office going well, how do we stop people from sitting there and just grinding the first level until they're godlike? And nobody went, you don't. You just let them do it.
Yeah.
If that's what they want to do, let them do it. They're paying for a game. Let them have what they want.
And why even spawn them then? Why even
Yep.
Exactly.
Just some choices these people made. I don't think this was their type of game. They just didn't know. You know?
Yeah, that was a really poor decision.
Fighting games are a little bit complex. The Street Fighter games and stuff, people get into such nuance of time to attack, time of the animation, how long before the animation ends, and things like iframes. And JB, you had a beef about the iframes that when they get up. Talk about that.
I can't really remember.
Let me go ahead.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's all about the timing. Whenever you are stomping them, if you're stomping them, you get your 3 stomps in. They're up so fast, and they start. They respond. They're up, and they're already hitting you.
Yes.
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, they're frame perfect when they get up. They attack you on the first frame they can, and if you attack on the first frame you miss.
You can never hit them getting up because they are invincible during that first attack and iframe.
It feels so bad. You can't accurately time it. You never can. It's impossible.
You can't beat them up. You have to back off, wait for them to get up, let them punch the air, and then walk back and attack him again. And that's boring. I want to trash this dude immediately, now, on the ground, up on his feet. I don't care. Don't make me back off and wait.
I gotta say though, some of the combos with Misako are just, they feel so good.
Yeah.
Like
They're
you'll
so
do
fun
a
when it
forward
happens.
special, and they'll fly across the fucking map, and they'll bounce off the wall and come back, and you like uppercut them and do some crazy shit, and it's just like, oh, it feels so good when
the
you
game
get it
lets
right.
you do it. Yeah,
When it lets you do it, yeah.
And that's where my beef comes from, is because had they gotten those things right, oh my god, delicious combat.
This game would have been perfect.
It would have been perfect.
If the brawling was great, this would have been so good.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about. So right now we're selling River City Girls as garbage. Let's talk about what this game did right, which is, again, it's pretty much everything else. The characters you play as I loved them. They're super, like I really loved Kyoko and Misako. They're just two high school girls who are so fucking over it, and I don't know, man. Like I like their personalities. I just did.
Yeah. And
the environment is animated so beautifully with modern sprite work. It's a modern take on, a 16-bit game. It's so good to look at, and it's so detailed. Like the pixel art is so detailed. And my biggest sell on this game, more than anything, is the music. The music is
I really like the music. When me and Cowboy first played, he was like, I don't know about the music. I'm like, it's so good.
Really? The music in this game is so fucking
choices
good.
that they make about music that I don't think apply. However, the title theme and a lot of the more rockin' songs, they fucking kick ass. They hype you up. They're well made. But some of the song choices, I was like, this isn't hitting for me. Some of the softer songs. You don't know what I mean. You guys can excuse like
it was
ballads.
Like,
I couldn't.
The music was very much... Have you ever played The World Ends With You?
No.
Okay,
No.
Well, listeners, if you ever played that game for the DS,
Frank.
This is the music. All right, Frank. Whatever. No, listeners, if you've ever played The World Ends With You, that's the type of music you can expect. It's very much like Kingdom Hearts, like that style of music.
Yeah, like ballad-based J-pop.
That's okay.
not accurate.
Okay. Here's how I would describe it. It mixes really cool anime rock. Because a lot of anime will use a lot of really cool like rock and metal. Like it has really cool anime rock for like the title screen and certain things, and it has some really fucking juicy synth pop. Yes, I'm a fan of synth pop. I'm a fan of synth pop. Maybe if you're talking about the segments where it's a little deeper and groovy and they're singing, like stuff like that, like tracks with actual lyrics and stuff, those were my favorite. Those were my favorite. My absolute favorite. When I walked into a mall and it's that fucking tasty synth pop and that beautiful those beautiful lyrics to go with it. And I think all the singers they chose were so good. And I'm sitting there, I feel like an enraged teenage girl fighting for her boyfriend, and the juxtaposition between the violence and the cool synth pop felt amazing to me. It was that delicious peanut butter and jelly mixture of goodness. Fucking loved it.
It didn't have...
I would listen to this soundtrack. There's a few games I would listen to soundtracks to, and this is one of them.
This is one of them for sure.
Yes.
100%.
You guys are, so to understand me, it's the songs are good. I
good.
Can't argue that. They don't have guitar in them, and you can't have fight music without guitar. It's a rule.
I'm gonna flush you down the toilet. I'm gonna go to your house and put you in the toilet.
Because they didn't put me in the mood to fight, and maybe if I was a girl, I would be like, this is fight music. But I'm a boy.
You don't have to be a girl.
You're just
wrong. You're just wrong.
Opinions can't be wrong.
The only thing that would have made this better is if the lyrics were in Japanese, because one thing I want to say is that the original River City Ransom, it felt like you were in Japan.
It did have a
River City Girls, it felt like you were in like Chicago. It did not feel like Japan whatsoever.
I agree.
Well, and I don't think they were going for that. The original one was made in Japan and then ported over to us, obviously, but this one was made for America, so like
I think that's true. I think River City is just your I mean, it's just a
just
big
the name.
city. It's dirty. There's clean parts. There's dirty parts. It's just River City, man. I think it's a big amalgamation of different large cities around the world. That's what I.
It had to be Japan.
No,
it's Japan.
It's just Japan.
Yeah.
No,
You got to make it Japan.
I mean, that was kind of cool for me because I did like the layout of Japan and stuff in the original one. It was nice to see like that different culture, so that was of interest to me. But in this new one, they had a few areas that were recrafted levels, I guess you could say, or segments that
like
were
the
from the
construction
original.
zone.
And that was so cool to me. I had like a little moment of, what's that? It's the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the screen whenever you see something you recognize. I did that. I was like, oh, I know that. So I had that moment. But I also want to say the game definitely has a strong, like, I don't know how much you guys want to go into this, but like a feminist kind of vibe to me, because like, or girl empowerment or anything, which I was down with. Like, why do dudes always have to like be violent? Why? I mean, the girls like were believably violent. And I like
these
that.
girls are kicking ass. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that they didn't have a male playable character, I mean, that was a decision they made.
And it wasn't just like dudes in girl skins. Like, they were believably violent, ready females, especially Misako. Kyoko, I could never see that girl like punch somebody in the head, but I kind of liked that you couldn't.
Yeah, she was
That
like a
played off her
bubblegum
character.
blonde character, like legally blonde,
But I kind of like that because it made it funny when she like drop kicks somebody because her personality is so sweet, and then like to watch her drop kick somebody would just crack me up. So
this sweet girl beating the shit out of someone with a bat.
And I am go.
And Jake, did you recognize the first guy you speak to? Who was that? Who is the voice?
The first he's talking about the first like
guy?
cutscene NPC you run into. He wears a big blue shirt.
He shows up multiple times.
Oh, his name is it starts with a G. Shit, it's like Goido or something.
Goido.
It's Goido. It's Goido like that. Do I recognize him? No, I don't.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna hit you with some knowledge
immediately.
Immediately. Well, not immediately. It took like 6 or 7 lines, and I was like,
To me, it's
wait a minute. Is that Jacksepticeye?
Who?
The Australian YouTuber.
You don't know Jacksepticeye? He's Irish. Oh my god.
I know. I was just playing.
Oh my god. All right.
I'm not very big into YouTube, so I don't know a lot of personalities.
All right. So Jacksepticeye is Irish YouTuber. He's one of like the biggest names.
He's a
like
cool
up
guy,
there
too.
with PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. Like he's up there.
Okay.
And he voices that guy, Goida, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Goidel.
Whatever his name is, Goidel.
Yeah, he does. He's in there, and I think a few other people we noticed. I can't remember, but there's cameos in this game.
That's cool.
I don't know if we confirmed the other ones, but yeah, there's some cool cameos, and he's in there, and he's a cool dude. I like him, like more than some of the other famous YouTubers like PewDiePie and stuff.
Godai. His name is Godai. You're
Godai.
right.
There it is. Godai.
His name is Godai. Like that's
Godai.
That's just so good.
Yeah. The characters. How did you guys feel about the characters? Because I'm gonna say, I kind of hated all the characters. Like I hate for a lot of them. I thought they were too quirky, and the dialogue was too like weird and full of itself.
Really?
They were trying too hard. I felt
Everything.
that.
Yes, they were definitely they were trying too hard. I don't know, man. I could
None of
give
it
a
ever
little-
hit the mark.
I could give a little lenience to some of the supporting characters, like
Yeah.
Godai. I mean, if he wasn't very good, I wouldn't care. A lot of characters only are so important as like Godai. I don't know, man. I don't have a lot to say about them because I just like the main characters so much that I guess I didn't really care about the other ones.
I really liked the first boss where
Oh, she
he's
was
on the
cool.
rooftop, the mage dude.
The second boss.
That's
Okay,
the
second boss. He was my favorite boss. Like
He was pretty cool.
how it goes into the whole like 6 different cutscenes of him growing up. Like I got a real like My Hero Academia vibe from him, like growing up and just being shit on all the time, and then he learns magic to hook up with girls, and then
Yeah.
he's just bad at it. Like, I felt good. I like that.
I'm
I
probably,
like that entire
I'm probably
session.
too judgy, but like a lot of the characters and dialogue were just groan worthy for me. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, you guys are anime inspired. This is all blah.
Mhm. It was
Well,
like
it
an
is,
American
though.
trying to do Japan animation.
Japanimation, I believe it's called.
I'm pretty sure it's Japanish animation-ish.
But
Jesus Christ.
Jake's right. It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. I mean, it's framed around anime, like the title. What do you call it? Like the title movie.
Sequence?
If you watch it, the title sequences, like if you let the game sit, it'll show really cool shit. I forget what those are called. Like that's anime. It's framed with anime and manga. It's supposed to be an anime video game. On that note, if they ever made an anime of this game and it was faithful to at least the main characters, I would watch it.
I would watch
Yeah, I
it for
would
the
too.
main characters.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I write and that stuff, and it's just a lot of that dialogue. If they had better writers, I don't want to trash anybody, but
Mhm.
like the writing, none of it hit for me. Like the jokes that they tried to land, that was all like irreverent, and we're talking about wacky stuff when something important's going on,
Yeah.
and none of us are like. I don't know. It's all tongue in cheek. None of it's taking itself seriously, which Battletoads did, but it was super funny. And
Yeah.
then every joke in this game missed. There were hardly a single joke that I laughed at. A premise of a joke, a funny situation. None of
That's
it
fair.
made me laugh.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
we
what I look
laughed
for.
at it rather than with it. I
Yeah.
think that was the main difference between these two games.
Versus dying laughing at Battletoads.
Oh my God, yeah.
So good for
Dump truck. So good.
Yeah.
So that was River City Girls, a game with kick-ass sprite work, an amazing soundtrack, lovable protagonists, a fun world to explore. But as a brawler, it was its weakest aspect.
Well, now you know what's good, what's bad, and what matters.
Wait,
No.
stop.
No.
Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, sounds like an interruption to me.
Podcasters, come out and play!
It's them.
Oh, are they clinking beer bottles together?
Yeah, I think it's a bit from The Warriors.
What? Why would they choose such an old movie?
They're doing it ironically, like to highlight the fact that we'd be old enough to even get such a reference.
Podcasters, come out and play!
Oh man, I do get that reference. That's clever.
Really? I've never seen it.
What?
Boom! What's up? It's your boys, the YouTubers, back at it again with another video about abusing the elderly. But this time, we ain't at a retirement home.
That's right. Today we kick in podcasters' asses in our office. But don't worry though, it's just a prank, bro. So it can't be legally considered assault.
Yo, guys. So we figure we're all just talking, right? You know, all of us, just a bunch of content creators just manufacturing drama for the little screen. Am I right, guys?
Oof! It's a chat, boys! They be scared. Yeah, nah, we decided we got big plans for your department.
Yeah, we gonna turn the corporate podcast into a corporate TikTok.
What? No, you can't just dance and lip sync quality gaming content. Oh, you guys are insane. It's never gonna work.
Oh, it'll twerk. Or more so, big booty gamer girls will. While we have them play Fortnite and Minecraft.
No. They're strapping games for a primarily under 18 demographic? You guys really have turned to the dark side. Please, don't do this.
It's already done, man. Hey, hit that fight music.
Let's go, boys.
I hope your Medicaid covers workplace injuries!
Well, I tried my best. Take it away, boys.
Cowabunga it is then. JB, now.
Yo, what happened to the lights? I can't see a thing.
Buenos dias, fuckboy.
my little daily to make up my sins.
Yo, I'm too high for this. I am freaking out.
Yo, we're all too high for this. You pull yourself together, man.
Fools, you focus so much on sight and visuals, but now you're trapped within our audio-only arena, a soundscape of pain and hopelessness.
A realm where all of reality is under our control, with the proper editing, of course.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
What? I don't even get that reference.
They've got more of our crew.
They're like old Chinese Batman, yo.
Chill, bros. There's like 15, well, like 10 now. We can fight back.
JB, hit them with phase 2.
Ugh, my eyes. What is that?
It's a strobe light set to 15 FPS, and that's flashes per second. It's way lower than you've ever played at.
Why can't I see anything, yo? I'm like real life lag. This is totally not chill.
You thought frames were your ally, but we were born into low frames, molded by them. We didn't see 1080p and 60 frames per second until we were already men.
Chat, help us! We're at the Game Corp building it. Chat? Yo, what happened to the chat?
Fools! We've disabled the Wi-Fi. Your precious chat is gone. It's time to give up.
Never, yo.
Here then, let me help you reconnect.
Oh, man, my ears. I'm dying, man. Fucking dying over here. What kind of military-grade torture is this?
It's AOL dial-up. We spent 10 years building an immunity to it, and now our old ears can't even hear its highest pitches.
It's like the opposite of ASMR. I got anxiety, man. I can't do this.
Yeah, this is totally not poggers, yo. My ADHD sensory is broken now, yo. I can't do this either. I give up.
All right, you guys win. Just, you gotta make it stop.
JB, turn it off. These dudes are done.
Whoa. Now that was something. Top-notch battle, boys.
Oh, boss, you're here?
Oh, yeah. I can smell violence and fear from a mile, and this office just reeks of it. What an absolute display of dominance and humiliation over your opponents. I'd say podcasters win. Flawless victory.
Oh, shit. Thanks, boss. Yeah, it was surprisingly violent. Yeah, I kind of got caught up in the moment there.
Yeah. Wait, did we agree we were just supposed to tie him up, though?
Yeah, but I forgot that requires rope, and I didn't have any, so I decided just to use the trophy that I won from episode 2.
Wait, you mean the hammer?
Trophy.
Well, you boys earned it. Congratulations. Now as for you, YouTube crew, you guys are done. Finished. Go pack up your desks and call the orphanage and tell them you're moving back in. Then you can inform your community college you'll be losing that scholarship too, due to being fired from your unpaid internships.
No, man.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, I'm
Not chill.
Oof. That's a big yikes. Can I get some S in chat? Oh, I don't get it.
Wait, orphanage?
Wait, scholarships?
Wait. Mwahaha?
Come on, you punk kids. Let's call your parents and pick you up. Oh, right, orphans. Well, come on. Let's call you an Uber.
Well, we did it, guys.
Yeah, we totally crushed those guys and their future. Yeah.
And, yeah, and now we're gonna have to run the company's YouTube channel.
Yay.
All right, well, let's take our minds off this bittersweet victory with a few victories of their own for each of these games.
That's right. It's time for the game trophies.
Yep. As always, our contenders will be awarded trophies based on the 3 categories of art, fun factor, and game design. Then, with those trophies in mind, we will crown an ultimate victor for today's battle. Jake, take it away.
I'm just going to cut to the chase this time. Both these games deserve an art trophy, but they can't have one. River City Girls brings modern sprite work to life juxtaposed with stylish anime cutscenes and narrative frames. Its synth-pop soundtrack is incredible, and its main characters are likable, memorable, and funny. Battletoads, however, was reimagined with an art style right out of your favorite Cartoon Network show. Its heavy metal soundtrack is fun and sets the mood. The writing is so self-aware and funny. I would cheer if either one of these games were turned into a TV show and not the original Battletoads show. That shit sucks. Unfortunately, I have to say one of these games excelled over the other, primarily in the story, and I'm going with Battletoads. Battletoads had me smiling the whole journey, and for that it takes the art trophy. Really only because the office budget only allows for 3 trophies per episode.
All right, JB.
I gotta say, both of these games sucked a big one when I was playing by myself. And if you're like me and have anywhere between like 0 and 2 friends, I'm not sure these would be good pickups. However, that all changed when playing these games multiplayer. Through either couch co-op or using Parsec to socially distance, you can enjoy the fun times, humor, and aggravating gameplay the way it was meant to be played, not by yourself. That being said, only one of these games can come out ahead, and because of the less annoying controls, funnier story, and gameplay variation, I'm going to give the Fun Factor trophy to Battletoads.
And lastly, it's my turn, and you know what that means. It's game design time, baby. As always, this was a difficult call, because both originals are classics in my heart, and because these 2 reboots are very strikingly similar. Now, the reboot of Battletoads did well with its puzzle-like combat that required some strategy when dealing with the different enemy types and the unique arena hazards, and it had very responsive dash that eased a lot of the frustration. But it broke up a lot of the button-smashing battles with annoyingly long button-smashing QuickTime events and featured very limited movesets. River City Girls included in-game menus with equipables, a currency shop system with move unlocks, and an explorable city with a transit system. The combat was a little less forgiving, with the vertical alignment having issues and the endless knockdowns and the aggravating enemy iframes. So if I look at both these games from a game design standpoint alone, I gotta give the game design trophy to River City Girls for its expanded systems and its slim, focused gameplay.
All right, step aside, Cowboy. It's Jake's turn to say this line. Those were the trophies for today's showdown. I'm taking it, which shows you where each game excels. But now it's time to cast our vote to find out the final winner for Best Beat 'em Up Reboot. I'm going to go first, as always. River City Girls.
Cowboy?
Interesting. Well, I'm going to give it to Battletoads.
Ooh. And I have to be the tiebreaker. But to me, well, when I think back to when I was a small child living in northeastern Uzbekistan, I just gotta think. No, it's Battletoads. Battletoads wins. Game over.
Hey.
Play the music!
Play the music, baby!
Bam! There you have it. Another pitch perfect podcast. No mistakes, because we're going to edit the fuck out of this.
Oh, that's right. And thank you all for sending us listener questions through our email, headtoheadpod@gmail.com, as well as our social media. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and also check out our website at headtoheadpod.com or h2hpod.com for those of you who hate the letter E.
All right, so last episode, Cowboy plugged Twitter. I'm going to plug Instagram this time. If you want to talk to me, baby, that's where it's at. I got pics, and I got DMs, and I got stories, and you should watch them. Follow us on Instagram, man. Also, I'd like to thank Metroid Mike for the use of our theme song. It's called I Can't Break off of his album, Heart of the Juggernaut. You can buy it on Bandcamp. You can listen to it on Spotify. It's all good chiptune goodness.
And I want to thank you all for listening to us. We appreciate every listener that tunes in and anybody who talks to me on social media. Please, as always, rate, follow, and subscribe. And not that bullshit where you just say that because you have to. I really appreciate if you guys can click those buttons for us and help us reach more people. And if you have friends who like gaming content, humor, we put out free podcasts every other Tuesday, and show them and help them experience our joy in our products. Now, get the fuck out of here.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
And happy Hanukkah.
Or morning.
Or
You already
morning.
did that gag.
I don't know any other gag.
Or eat your brunch dishes. Battletoads.
I am so glad that's over.
Yeah. You know, in the end, I also think giving those guys their job back was the right thing to do.
Yeah, because we're ugly and we don't know how to run a YouTube channel.
No, Jesus. Because maybe we judged them a little too harshly, right? We're all just products of our time and technology. Who's to say we were any different with our Game Boys and MTV at that age?
Yeah, maybe no matter how much you hate somebody, it's important to know that they're still flawed people with their own struggles, just trying to adapt to the judgmental world we live in.
Also, we don't own any cameras.
Also that.
Oh, hey, look, I got a notification that the YouTubers just posted a new video. Oh, it's about us.
Yeah, probably thanking us for getting their jobs back. See, people can surprise you.
Yeah.
Hey, why is the title Top 10 Reasons Podcasting Sucks and it's for old ugly dudes?
What? Oh, wow. Hey, and we're in the thumbnail. They actually commissioned an artist to draw us with Buscemi eyes. But the detail is exquisite, man. We should ask for the name of their artist.
What? Dude, I can't believe we did all that for them and they still trash us in their video.
Oh my god. Guys, do you know what this means?
What?
Yeah, we have rivals now. And we're dumb for not sending them back to the orphanage.
Yes. But also, the video already has 10,000 views in 10 minutes. We really are going to be famous.